Welcome to another episode of Just Some Points. I have Maggie and Melissa with me again. It's a week before election, and I'm anxious to hear what everybody brought to the table again. Who wants to go first? Melissa, how about you?
Sure. So this week I wanted to talk a little bit about how SEO and paid search work in tandem with each other. And I'm going to specifically talk about e-commerce because Google actually announced that they started adding a new feature for their merchant center. So when you're doing your Google product search ads, they really want to start maximizing the exposure of sales and promotions and deals. So through the merchant center, when you're creating your product ads, you can actually very easily add sales and promotions, and they'll now show little labels on the products when you're searching on Google. And the approval process of this dropped from a couple of days to just a few hours, so it's much more instantaneous. And Google really wants people to start advertising their products more through their merchant center rather than having them go directly through Amazon and Walmart. And I think SEO plays a really big part into e-commerce on Google because like I just mentioned, Amazon and Walmart, everybody is starting to kind of have their subscriptions and everybody's starting to just go directly to their sources. But SEO is a really big part in terms of all of like those holiday listicles and, best products for all the various holidays and stuff like that. So I think link building is a very forgotten art when it comes to e-commerce, but could play a really big role right now in helping your products show in through paid ads and through SEO.
Wow, it's kind of stuck. Yeah, it's all good points. My brain was going in three different directions while I was listening to you because, first of all, I brought this up in the past that I'm getting more and more annoyed with Google as a search engine.
Yeah.
And what you're basically saying is, and basically confirming this more and more. Obviously, they take a cut on all product sales that are going through the engine,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to the advertising. But I think at one point, Google has to make a decision if they want to be a search engine or if they want to be Amazon and Walmart as a main shopping platform. Where I understand the strategy from a consumer perspective, I'm getting more annoyed with that. And I think that move will further make a case for the lawsuits that are going on against them at the moment, that they're abusing their position as a monopoly of a search engine. From a for our customers, I think you're right on the money with that. What has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
But from a consumer, also from a customer perspective, I think it's continuous abuse of their position as a monopoly.
Yeah.
Where I'm looking for actually a lot of products on the project I'm doing in my house in the Adirondacks at the moment, and it is getting increasingly more difficult to find products that are not on that listing in the top.
Right, and they do that organically too, not just paid. So it has both.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but it's really just focused on the products that are in their shopping environment,
Mm-hmm.
not on products that are not in their shopping environment, meaning you have only products in the top at Google where they, in one way or another, benefit. Either it's in their shopping environment or I'm not sure if it's advertising too, but I guess it might be advertising too. Regardless, you don't get in there unless you pay.
Yeah, and I think, a part of that is also uh if they start adding products to more common searches, it's going to start taking more real estate and it's going to start taking away even more organic searching as well. We're already seeing, more and more ads at the top and the bottom of search result pages. So the number of organic searches per page is going to start decreasing again as well, which can hurt, non-e-commerce. But again, I guess that's part of
But
my point.
also, at what point are you then still literally still a legitimate search engine? Because what about I'm looking for what's out there in the niche sector, somebody who doesn't pay anything, somebody doesn't do SEO. And now in the old days, when search engines started, they gave it all to me. It's like, here's all the crap, all the different things that's out there. And some of the stuff was really interesting. You don't even get that stuff anymore. It's just, you just get what they want. And where is the true search engine functionality? It's disappearing more and more from Google. That really tells me, look, here's the universe, here's the world, here's what's out there. You don't get that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Very
My topic kind of goes along a little bit with that. So I'm going to be talking about how Google Ads turned 20 last week. So I kind of just wanted to recap some of the most important trends and changes they've had over the
Happy
past
birthday.
over the past 5 years.
What do you say, 20 years?
They turned 20, yeah. But I'm just going to recap the important trends and changes in the last 5 years. So the first one is about the rise in audiences available. So the biggest change for that came in 2017 when it allowed Google users' account data to be used for YouTube targeting, which included demographic and search behavior information from users who are signed into Google. The next one is the decline of keyword match types. So Google began limiting the search term reports to advertisers where only queries that are searched by a significant number of people are reported to advertisers.
That was a huge step and we were pissed at that at the time. I remember,
Right.
because it was awful. That's when it really started that they're starting to heavily abuse their position and power, where they
Right.
took away a lot of intelligence for us as a marketing agency.
Yep.
So in turn, a lot of advertisers have had to adopt the negative keyword management approach to help with keyword optimization. So creating a longer list of negative keywords. The next one is automated campaigns and ads. 2018 brought fully automated ads and campaign types. So automation is no longer limited to certain aspects of campaign management like bidding. Every part of the campaign is now basically automated. The next one is the surfaces across Google. So we're going to look at some various campaign types in Google Ads and the channels and services they run across now. So app campaigns run across YouTube, search, display, Google Play. Shopping campaigns can run across search, images, YouTube, Discover, and showcase shopping ads can run across multiple image shopping ads, search images, YouTube, and Discover. And that's just a few of their types. There's multiple other ones as well.
Right.
And then lastly is the online to offline capabilities. So in response to the pandemic, Google added several features to local campaigns and local inventory ads to emphasize the buy online, pick up in store options, curbside pickup, and so on.
I'm not sure if I understand the last one, the offline part.
So they're just they're trying to make it easier for the user to understand, because obviously not every store is available now that you can go into and shop. So when they're advertising, they want the user to see that, oh, you can just buy online now, or you can pick up in store, curbside, just so it's easier to know whether that business has different options because of the pandemic. It's more highlighted.
Exposing the brick and mortar component.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's usually just like a little banner that they put at the top of images that says pickup only or curbside pickup, or they're starting to label the images themselves when you're shopping.
They've done it with Google My Business too as well. They added a link, like a COVID-19 link. So they're adding stuff as what in the world is changing.
Wow, interesting. Okay, cool. Well, my topic this week was actually triggered by a conversation I had with a friend. He's the business owner of Doc International, and they're a company that does. They've been doing events, especially for the healthcare and pharma industry, a lot. for decades now. And, guess what? Their business broke away with the pandemic. Literally from one day to another, all the events, there's no 300-500 people, 1,000 people events around the globe where people fly to and have an event on something. And so I talked with him, asked him what he's doing. And then he says, basically, they almost complete up, almost 100% transition to online events. And my brain right away, I think Zoom, because it's what we do every day. That's what we're doing right now, Zoom events. And he said, no, online events, you have to think beyond Zoom. And so we kept talking about it. And I basically, since then, I was doing a little bit more digging. And we try to, make the connection to our clients, our healthcare clients, because, if you look at the businesses the events that we have helped our clients, orthopedics, for example, that do education events for trainers or PTs. It's very, very common. We have a few clients where we do this, where we, like twice a year. Neurosurgery practices that do education events for primary care doctors, made to the referrers. Plastic surgery and bariatric practice that do monthly patient events, very common. Or hospitals, we've done some really big events for hospitals, for consumers and doctors. We're literally like over a day, multiple sessions. But most of the healthcare providers, we stopped doing these events. Although, some of them have picked them up again with Zoom. Most don't really think beyond the basics. And what I really, learned this week and last week, as I was looking into that, is there's some really cool platforms now. I wanted to mention two. I don't know how to pronounce it. WHOVA. It's WHOVA. I don't know how you pronounce it. WHOVA, whatever. And ON24. Those are two platforms. They're specifically designed for online events that go beyond, let's say, what we do here with Zoom. You get more like a look and feel of an event, where you really have also all the functionality you would want to have, meaning you could have multiple event rooms concurrently where people can schedule their own event, where you can have a conference with 10 presenters, in the morning in 3 different rooms, and people can say, first I want to participate this, and then this, and then that, and people can schedule their own, make their own schedule, like you're in a real conference. You can have sponsors and sponsorship management and have them exposed. Social media integration is much better. Online sign up and the management and even payments, if you would want to have paid events. All of that is really possible now. And obviously with all of that, because everything is digital, have follow-up communication and documentation sharing makes it much easier with those online platforms. So the real reason why I wanted to make this a topic today was I really didn't pay enough attention to it for our clients where we have helped in the past with events. And I think, especially in healthcare, healthcare providers or hospitals or any systems, anybody in healthcare should really start thinking in a more sophisticated way. We start picking up events again. And I actually, as I was thinking about it, I thought, if anybody who has done events offline, face-to-face, who would transition now to online events and is successful, I would say transitioning to online events are successful, you're more successful overall than offline events, because now you have a whole new platform where you can expand the reach and where you can expand your communication capabilities and engagement with the people participating beyond what you could have done before.
And it's
so I thought,
as well.
Sorry?
It's convenience for the participants as well.
That's right.
They might not be able to make it in person.
That's right. So I really thought, that it's something that healthcare providers and healthcare companies should we pay more attention to. And so that was the reason why we wanted to make this a topic today, because I think should be really integral part of your thinking now in marketing.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, we're running a couple social media webinar campaigns for a couple of our clients. And they've been doing pretty well with the amount of conversions we're getting for these webinars. So
What types of specialties are they?
one is bariatric and the
Okay.
other one, actually, they're both bariatric.
Okay.
Mhm.
And are they a regular, reoccurring meetings or events?
Yes, yep, they're reoccurring.
Okay. Do you know what platforms they use?
I actually don't know what they use,
Okay.
but it's definitely something we can look into.
Yeah, it's definitely something I think healthcare providers should really seriously look into it, because I think it's also it's a way also to get more loyalty, customer loyalty or patient loyalty, and tie them more to your brand.
Mhm.
Very good. That concludes our podcast this week. Next week's podcast will be election week, so I hope you guys either voted already or will go voting. Will be certainly eventful week next week beyond our pandemic, beyond our podcast. So see you next week. Bye.